All right, join me on page 180 in the social studies textbook. The picture you're looking at are some more examples of some Meroe temples that we're going to be learning about today. We're going to Meroe. All right, I think it's Meroe. All right, join me on 180. Let's go ahead and get started. A new beginning. The Kushites' rule over Egypt came to an end when the Assyrians invaded Egypt. Kushite and Egyptian soldiers could not compete with the large Assyrian army. When the Assyrians destroyed the combined Kushite and Egyptian armies, Taharka and his Kushite army retreated to Napata. King Taharka died in Napata. Soon after, the Assyrian rulers of Egypt robbed and plundered Napata. The Assyrian attack on Egypt proved to be a major setback for the Kushites. However, the Kushites learned new techniques about iron making from the Assyrians. Kushite skill in iron making would help them build a new kingdom. And that often happens throughout the history of war, where the people that are defeated begin to learn some of the technologies for the weaponry that was used against them. We see that in the proliferation of nuclear weapons. The United States used 2 nuclear weapons on Japan, and since then other countries have learned from our technology and have created their own nuclear arsenal. Okay, continuing on page 180. In 591 BC, Kushite leaders moved their capital south to Meroe, near the 6th cataract of the Nile River. There, further from Egypt, the Kushites once again rebuilt the kingdom of Kush, also known as the kingdom of Meroe. At Meroe, the Kush civilization lived on and made many advances. This time of achievement, which lasted from 270 BC to AD 350, is known as the Meroitic period. During the Meroitic period, Kush included most of Nubia as well as regions far south of Khartoum. Across the kingdom, the Kushites built temples to their own gods, as well as palaces and pyramids for their rulers. They also created new customs of their own. As in earlier times, the Kushites became known for trade. Okay, turning the page to page 181, the city of Meroe. One of Meroe's greatest advantages was its location. The city was not only on the Nile River, but also at the meeting point of several overland trade routes. In Meroe, Kushite merchants revived their trade network, or group of buyers and sellers. Using caravans of camels, traders from southwestern Asia and from other parts of Africa traveled to Meroe, along with gold, cattle, cotton, and wheat. The Kushites began to offer iron products to their trade partners. And where did they learn how to make iron products? From the Assyrians that had defeated them. Okay, continuing in your text. The need to keep trade records led the people of Meroe to create the first Nubian written language. Before this time, the Nubian language was only spoken, and any written communication used Egyptian hieroglyphs. The new Meroitic alphabet had 23 symbols, which stood for sounds in the Nubian language. Today, the sounds of the symbols are known, but no one has been able to decipher or figure out the meaning of the language. Because of its success at trade, the city of Meroe grew. Soon, new palaces, temples, pyramids, and ironworking shops arose. With just one look at the city, a visitor could tell that the people of Meroe were wealthy. Trade brought the Kushites much wealth, but its rulers gave Meroe its strength. Just as the pharaohs of Dynasty 25 had claimed to be sons of the god Ammon, so too did the leaders of Meroe. In some ways, the rulers of Meroe were very different from Egyptian rulers. In Meroe, women played an important role in governing. In fact, many historians believe that the right to rule was passed on through the queen, not the king. Women could also be rulers themselves, and many were. These powerful queens are even known to have led troops into battle. For example, Amana Shaketa led her army against the mighty Roman army. Cultural heritage. So now I'm at the bottom of page 181, the purple. Queens played an important role in Kushite society, while men usually were the rulers of Kush. The Kushites traced their family lines through their mothers. Because of this, the queen mother in the Kushite monarchy held a position of great respect and influence. When a king died, the queen mother and the leaders of the kingdom chose the next ruler from among the members of the royal family. If the chosen ruler was too young to govern, the queen mother ruled for him. Ruling queens in Kush were known as kandakas. Some queens ruled together with their husbands. Queen Shanakdakhet, one of the most powerful rulers of Meroe, ordered the building of many temples and palaces. Okay, turning the page to page 182, the fall of Meroe. During the 200s BC, Greek rulers in Egypt had ordered ports to be built on the Red Sea. Traders began to use sea routes rather than the land routes that passed through the once busy city of Meroe. No longer a center of trade, Meroe lost much of its power, importance, and wealth. Also, soldiers from the African kingdom of Aksum, in what is now Ethiopia, began making raids on Kushite towns. By about AD 350, the people of Aksum had defeated the Kushites. The king of Aksum wrote, "I burned their villages, both those with walls of stone and those of straw." By the end of the 4th century AD, the Kush civilization had fallen. Okay, let's turn the page now to 183 and learn a little bit more about Pae. He decided then and there to invade Egypt so that he might restore order to that land. Pae, also known as Paenkai, was a strong Nubian ruler who wanted to conquer all of Egypt. He inherited his throne from his father, King Kashta. King Kashta had extended the rule of the kingdom of Kush as far north as Thebes, but Pae wanted to spread his rule further. Pae wanted to conquer Lower Egypt. He marched his army there to challenge the 4 kings who ruled the surrounding area. Pae did not believe he was invading Thebes. Instead, he thought he was bringing peace to an unsettled country at his northern border. So he thought he would kind of there to help. Okay, continuing in the text. To fulfill his goal of conquering all of Egypt, Pae was determined to capture Memphis, the ancient capital of Egypt. Memphis was well protected by walls. However, Pae's army used the masts of boats in the river to climb over the walls and capture the city. After the capture of Memphis, most other rulers also submitted to Pae. He became the first Kushite king to rule both Kush and all of Egypt. Pae is known as a ruler who did not wish to fight with his enemies. Instead, he preferred making treaties and alliances with them. So he tried to work together rather than fight. But he would obviously fight if need be. But he preferred to make alliances and treaties with others instead of going to war. All right, thanks for watching and following along, and you can continue on your social studies.